Hello everyone and welcome back to The Elegant Edit. I am very excited for today's video because I have been wanting to film a fashion related video again for quite some time, and I promise I plan to do this more often, and also I want to film more beauty related videos as well. So I know I've been sharing a lot of vlogs, but keep an eye out for more fashion and beauty content coming very soon. And today we are continuing on with my series called How to Establish an Elegant and Classy Style. So I feel like I talk about it a lot, but if you don't follow me on Instagram, please check out my account. I share mostly fashion content, but a bit of beauty in there as well. And if you like my YouTube videos and you didn't come from my Instagram, then you may want to check it out. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about trends and basically the fact that trends come and go. On this channel, I talk a lot about the importance of having a timeless, classic, and elegant wardrobe, and I have a lot to say on the topic, so maybe I should just dive right in. So, in order to establish an elegant and classy style, you're going to want to purchase pieces that are timeless rather than pieces that are trendy. I'm not saying that you have to avoid trends at all costs, but I think it's important to keep in mind that a lot of trendy pieces tend to be lower quality, and this isn't true all the time, but for what most people can afford, this tends to be the case. So rather than focusing on those cheaper quality trendy pieces, you're going to want to invest just a little bit more money into higher quality pieces that are going to last you a lifetime. When you purchase these trendy pieces, you may also find yourself getting rid of clothing quite often and maybe a little too regularly. It's always important to kind of declutter and go through your wardrobe, but when you're purchasing a lot of trendy pieces, it's something you'll be doing all the time, and you'll constantly have to dish out more money on even more trendy pieces that come around next season. I think that people tend to want to follow trends because I think it makes them feel in the know, it makes them feel stylish, it makes them feel like they're a part of something, and it can just be fun, and I completely understand that. I get why that can be a really fun thing to be a part of, but I also think that it's important to have your own personal style, and when you have your own personal style, it makes life so much easier. It makes you feel more confident in day-to-day life. It also makes you feel more knowledgeable, and it helps you to get ready every day. It helps you to feel like you know what you're doing when it comes to fashion, and that you know how to dress yourself. You know what looks good on you and what you feel best in. Also, having your own personal style is going to make the entire shopping experience and getting ready every day experience a lot more enjoyable. You're not going to be standing in front of your closet wondering what you can wear, because also a lot of trendy pieces are not the most wearable, but I'll get to that in a moment. So let's get into it. The first thing that I think is important for us to all remember is that trends come and go. They do not last. One season, a certain thing is going to be in style, and the next it's going to be out, and you're not going to want to be seen wearing it. So that's something that I want you to keep in mind when you're shopping, whether it's in person or online. Make sure that it's something that you truly, truly love, and it's not just to capture attention or to look cool. I think sometimes when we go shopping, we get all excited about it and we kind of lose focus on what we really went into that shop for, and you end up walking out with pieces that you just did not plan on purchasing. So it's also important to have a goal when you go shopping and to know what kind of pieces you're looking for. And I also think that if you want to participate in a trend, make sure you think twice about it. Don't get pressured into buying anything. Keep in mind that yes, fashion should be fun, but you need to also know that that trend that you really may like is not going to last. Basics are truly the foundation of a timeless and classic wardrobe. You need to invest in high quality basics because this is going to last you a long time, and it's going to be able to help you make up so many different outfits with really simple pieces. And I know a lot of people look at that and think, oh, that sounds so boring. But truly, I have been a fashion lover all my life, and at this point, currently, I do not even have a black or white or brown t-shirt that is high quality. I need to actually buy those, and I've been thinking about it recently, but you need to start with that, and even if it seems a little boring, at least once you have the basics done, maybe then you can focus on pieces that are a bit more bold, a bit more out there, and maybe, potentially, a little bit trendy. Another thing that I always talk about and recommend is creating a capsule wardrobe. I talk about this all the time. I probably talked about it in my last video in this series. You can definitely look into it. It's a super easy thing to kind of understand, but it's also personal. So when you create a capsule wardrobe, you're basically just kind of accumulating high quality basics, and that's mainly what that is. And a capsule wardrobe is, let's say, 10 pieces that you can wear in multiple different ways together that will always look nice and put together. Another thing that I want you to think about is that actually buying into trends can be costly. Even if you're not buying a luxury item that's trendy, even if you're shopping at just high street places, again, like H&M or Zara or Mango, which again, I love those places, but it's important to remember that even buying at places like that can still end up costing you a lot of money over time. Even if you found something trendy that was maybe $15, it's still going to add up over time. So just keep that in mind. Most of the time, trendy pieces can also lead to fast fashion. Now, I know this is a topic that a lot of people have a lot of different opinions about, and I kind of want to share my 2 cents because I feel like it could be helpful for you. Because I'm not here to bash anyone or to tell anyone that shopping at H&M is a bad idea, because I love H&M and I personally feel like it's tricky. It could depend on many things, including your budget. For me personally, I truly believe that investing in high quality pieces is the best way to go about shopping. And I am aware and I completely understand that not everyone's budget can allow for this. However, I feel like I have found a really great way, a great balance, I guess you could say, of buying really nice high quality pieces, but not spending luxury prices. So now I want to talk about some of the ways that I do my best to shop sustainably. So I have my list right here. So as I just mentioned, purchasing high quality pieces from like high-end brands. So there are a few ways that you can do this, but first I want to talk quickly about some of my favorite brands that I have found over time. So some higher end brands, or I guess you could say designer, but not necessarily luxury, would be Ted Baker, Ralph Lauren, French Connection, Tommy Hilfiger, Calvin Klein, Reiss, Hobbs, and I guess places like that. But I did want to say that I do, to be honest with you, I do like shopping at places like H&M, Zara, Mango, Old Navy, Next, Target, places like that. And I think that a good way of finding those amazing high quality pieces for less money would be shopping at places like TJ Maxx, or if you're in the UK, TK Maxx, and also Dillard's, and what was the other one? Let's see. Marshalls. So I have found some amazing pieces at those shops, and what I love is that, again, you're getting an amazing piece that's gonna last you a long time, but you're not spending ridiculous prices. And so I really love that. I have found some amazing pieces at places like that. TJ Maxx is really great for that. They have a lot of Calvin Klein. They've got, I think, some French Connection in there. They have those higher end brands. But something I want you to keep in mind when shopping at places like that is to kind of steer clear of the cheaper brands. So at places like TJ Maxx, Dillard's, and Marshalls, most of what makes up those stores, I believe, are like cheaper items, and that's not to say that they're bad or that you shouldn't purchase them, but I think you just want to be careful when shopping at places like that. You really want to take your time, get in there, look at all of the racks and look at each item, because you could miss something at those kinds of places. It's not the kind of place where you can run in, grab what you need and go. You kind of have to look around. And I think that's fun. It means you can take your time and enjoy the shopping experience, but take your time, really look around for those high quality pieces, because they're absolutely there, but you need to keep an eye out. I'm not entirely sure, but again, at stores like that, I believe what the kind of deal is that the clothing items and shoes and bags, the accessories, all that you see in TJ Maxx, Marshalls, and Dillard's are, I guess, designer or high quality pieces most of the time. That are discounted for whatever reason. They're not always, it's not always the case that something's wrong with them. typically I think it's just old season pieces that didn't sell elsewhere or at their own store, so it's brought to TJ Maxx. I believe, I could be wrong about that, but that's what I believe those kinds of stores are, and I really love that because you can also find some unique things that aren't necessarily trendy. They are timeless, but they just didn't sell for whatever reason. So I have found some gems at places like that, so I highly recommend looking around. Another way that I try to shop sustainably is by thrifting. So I get so passionate when I talk about thrifting because it's a really funny thing. A few years ago, I never would have thrifted, and I don't know why. Maybe it was some kind of internal uncomfortableness about it. I don't know the word. I don't know how to describe it, but I just never would have thought to do it. And also in the area that I live in, we don't have a lot of thrift shops or places like that. However, the last time I was in the UK, I just found a love for thrifting. There are many charity shops in the UK, like so many, and I have found some incredible pieces at charity shops. I have pretty much every Ted Baker item I own is from a charity shop or some kind of discounted shop. I have 2 Ted Baker dresses that I got for 20 and 25 pounds. Yes, you heard that right. When Ted Baker dresses are probably a couple hundred originally. I have a Ted Baker shirt that we got for around, I can't remember exactly, maybe 60 pounds. I have a blazer that I got for maybe 25. I have a dress that we got here in the US, surprisingly, at a vintage boutique for around 74, I believe. So there are ways, trust me, and I love those pieces because I guess a few years ago I wouldn't have been able to afford Ted Baker pieces originally. And even if you can, another thing that I always tell people is that even if you have the money to buy something full price, why would you? Why not look around first? Why not see what else is out there? Why not try to find a way to bring that price down? Because you're losing money when you don't have to. Another thing with shopping at charity shops or just thrifting in general is that every single piece that I have found at a charity shop looks like it's brand new. And that's the thing that we all forget, is that a lot of the time I think people give away clothing that they probably wore once or twice, maybe even for like a special occasion, and then they got rid of it because they felt like they would never wear it again. And that's sad, to be honest, but at the same time, a lot of people do that, and for us who like to thrift, that's a great thing because it means that we get an item for a very low price that looks brand new. So I have found some amazing pieces doing that, and I highly recommend checking out some thrift shops or charity shops near you, because I'm sure that every town, or at least most towns or villages, wherever you live, I'm sure you'll be able to find something, and it's so worth it. It's saving you so much money, and you're able to find some amazing pieces. Again, probably pretty unique pieces that nobody else is wearing in 2023. Next up is bargain hunting, or just simply looking around first. So another thing that I think is really important is not to purchase the first thing you see. I think far too many people see something they like in stores and they feel like they have to have it immediately. And that is not a good habit to form. I think it's way more important and more beneficial to be patient and to think about a purchase before going through with it. And one of the ways that Tom and I have found that this is really helpful is by, let's say you're shopping in person, you're at the mall, you're at your favorite store, whatever it is, you're in person. One thing that Tom and I always do is, if we're kind of thinking about the item, we're not 100% sure about it, I always like to take a picture of the clothing item or the bag, whatever it is, and then also a picture of the tag so that I know what to look up online when I get home. So I love in-person shopping, but online shopping definitely has its benefits. When you know the name of a clothing item, or you know how to describe it into Google, most of the time you're probably going to be able to find it online. And typically, I believe that with online shopping, a lot of the time, if you kind of forget about shipping for a minute, you can typically get things cheaper. Tom and I are always signing up. If we find a new shop that we love, we sign up to their emails, and you typically get a discount. There are so many ways, but look around first. Don't rush into a purchase. Look online. Even if you're at the store, take a minute on your phone to just look online and see if it's cheaper elsewhere, because you don't want to feel, you don't want to buy something for, let's say, $100, and then you get home, you look online and you realize you could have gotten it for $50. So it's not fun to do that. You don't want to lose money even if you have the money. So definitely look online. It is so worth it, and chances are you can definitely get that item cheaper. And another smart way to shop online in this case is by downloading a browser extension. Tom and I like to use Honey, but there's also one called Karma. And I highly recommend these. They're free to download, and basically once you have it on your laptop or on your phone, what it does is it automatically goes searching for discount codes or offers or ways to get money off your purchase. So let's say you're thinking about buying a nice dress. You put it in your cart, you go to your cart, you pretend you're going to purchase it, but before you do, usually Honey, I've never tried Karma, but I believe it's the same thing. For us, Honey comes up and it will try out a bunch of different codes, and it's very quick. It tests them out in less than a minute. And if anything comes up that it was able to find, it will put it in for you and it'll give you that discounted price. It's free, so why not? Like, honestly, I feel like it's so worth having that on your phone and your laptop. This is obviously not a sponsored video, but just so you know, I think Honey and Karma are amazing. I think it's called Karma. I think I'm confusing it with Klarna, but that's different. It's Karma. And so I highly recommend downloading those because most of the time it will find you discounts. It won't always, and it may also depend on the website that you're on, but typically Tom and I are able to get a lot of money off a purchase. We did recently, and I'm trying to think of what it was. I think I purchased a dress from Coast online, which I'll show you when I'm back in the UK, but I believe we got a good amount of money off of that purchase. So definitely check out Honey and Karma, and I promise you will not regret it. Also, just think about the amount of money that you could be saving over time. Like, I kind of wish that if I could keep track of every purchase and every amount of money that I've saved from that purchase, just think in years to come, that amount is going to add up. So you will have saved so much money by doing that. And honestly, I think it's just about having patience, being careful with your purchases, and just being smart about it, thinking twice about it, not rushing into things. It's so important because I think in today's society and today's world, people, when they want something, they want it now. And again, that's a dangerous kind of habit or mindset to form because not everything in life is going to come to you quickly or when you want it. And most of the time, you do have to be patient for good things to come. And I think that's a lesson, not just in buying clothing, but in general in life. Shopping sustainably doesn't mean you need to spend luxury prices, and I talked about this before, but just know that it doesn't have to break the bank. You don't have to buy high-end luxury prices or luxury items at those prices because that can be really ridiculous at times, and the average person simply can't always afford that. So, you can save up over time for it, but most of the time you do not need to spend ridiculous amounts of money to impress people or to have nice clothing or to feel good or to feel luxurious. When it comes to trends, another thing to keep in mind is that not everything is going to suit you. I personally feel like you should wear what you love, wear what you enjoy, even if that does mean wearing trends. I would never judge another person. This is just personally for people like me who love to dress in an elegant and timeless way, but I would never judge someone else. But what I will say is that with trends, not everything is going to look good on your body type or maybe with your skin tone or your hair color. So it's important to keep that in mind as well, that not every trend is worth trying out. And also, a lot of trends are not very wearable. Like in everyday life, and it could depend on your job, it could depend on your budget, so many different things, but most of the time, a lot of trends are not very wearable in day-to-day life. Maybe for a certain occasion, a party, some kind of event, a special occasion, but most of the time, it's just gonna seem a bit out of place. And some people like that, some people walk down the streets of a very small town and they like to go all out, and I 100% support that. I love it, but just keep that in mind. If you're not someone who wants to stand out in that way, that sometimes certain trends are going to make you stand out, and it might make you uncomfortable if you're that kind of person. And when it comes to luxury trends, designers make clothing, and typically that is for people who have a high status in society, so celebrities or I guess really famous influencers, people like that, not your average Joe, I guess you could say. So a lot of the trends that you see on runways are sometimes laughable and a little ridiculous. I honestly think it is art and it's amazing, but sometimes it's a bit odd. Sometimes you'll see online a model walking down a runway and you're like, what on earth is that? And again, just keep in mind that those things are not wearable, and I think most of the time it is for celebrities. It is to make a statement, it's to be bold, it's to be seen as an art form and not necessarily as just something simple to wear. And I think this is the last thing I will say on luxury items. If you do have the money to shop luxury, please, please, please keep in mind that you should be 100% sure on that item that you're buying. If you are the kind of person who had to save up for that item, hopefully you will have had the time to really think long and hard about what you wanted to purchase. But if you're someone who has that money right away and you want to buy a Chanel bag, let's just say, please think long and hard about it, because even though, yes, you could always sell it and it's luxury, so someone out there is going to want it, I don't think that's the right mindset to have. I feel like luxury is luxury for a reason. It's something that is special. It should make you feel special when you wear it, or the fact that you own it is something to be grateful for. You definitely want to make sure it's something that you can get a lot of wear out of time and time again with many different outfits in many different seasons. And you don't want that to be a trendy thing. So if you have the money and you want to buy something luxury, maybe try to make sure that it's timeless. And again, you want to be 100% sure about it. So do your research, know what you like, and if there's even a tiny bit of doubt in your mind, I say do not go for it. So getting to the end of this video now, I do want to say that always remember to be practical. At the end of the day, even if you do want to buy a trendy piece, just try to think practically. Try to think about, what do you tend to wear in everyday life? Think about your job, your hobbies, what you like to do at home, just everyday things. And also, yes, maybe if you have a special occasion coming up, you can think about that as well, but more than that, it's about everyday life, because most of the time, for the average person, we're not doing anything super extravagant every single day or even every single weekend. I wish I was. I wish I had fancy events to go to all the time, but as your average person, you just don't. And so you have to think practically, and that's not always fun, but it depends on what you like. Like I said, if you love going out to just a chain restaurant, dressing up like sometimes I do, it's gonna turn heads, but if you don't mind that, then that's one thing. Like I said, if you kind of like to keep to yourself more, you don't like to draw attention, then that's a whole other story, and that's okay. It just depends what you like to go for, but just know that trendy pieces will turn heads, and depending on where you are, it could be a good or bad thing. The last thing I want to just briefly talk about are pieces that are trendy versus pieces that are timeless. So I have 3 examples to share with you today. The first one, we are going to talk about 2 different types of jackets or coats. So for the trendy piece, now I know a lot of people love these, so again, I'm not bashing anyone. I'm not saying you should never buy this piece or that it looks bad. I just know in my head that it is a trend. And even though I kind of like it too, I don't own one, and I don't know if I will. So I just want to put that out there. The first thing are puffer coats. So you know those really puffy, they tend to be cropped coats. I think they're super cute. However, that is definitely a trendy piece. It's something that we'll look back on in a few years and we'll either go, why the heck did I wear that? Or you might think, oh, that was cute. I wish that would come back in style. But just know that that is more of a trendy kind of coat and jacket. It kind of looks athletic, and I think it's cute. But on the other hand, if I had to choose between that and something like a trench coat, I would 100% always choose a trench coat. Trench coats are classic staples, and I think everyone should own one, especially in like a beige color, or if you tend to wear darker colors, maybe black or navy. I personally love the look of a classic kind of beige, light brown trench coat. I have kind of a cheaper one right now that I bought when I was in France, but I really want to invest in a beautiful, high quality trench coat. I'm thinking of doing that soon. And what I love about trench coats is that you can kind of wear them most of the year. I'd say anytime other than summer, you can definitely get away with wearing it. And if you live somewhere like the UK where it's not always super hot, then to be honest, you can get away with wearing that a lot. And so I love trench coats. I just think they are so classic and you really can't go wrong. You can dress them up or dress them down. You can even wear them with sneakers or heels. It depends what you're going for, but that's part of the beauty of a trench coat. You can wear them in many ways, style it up or down, and it always looks good. Even if you don't know what to wear, you can just wear like a black turtleneck, some black bottoms, black shoes, throw on a trench coat, and you will look put together. Next up, let's talk jeans. So I know not everyone's a jean girl or guy. I know not everyone finds them comfortable, but to be honest, I think everyone should own at least one pair of amazing high quality jeans that fit you. And an example of a trendy pair of jeans would be either, well, there are so many different types of jeans out there. If you go to the store, honestly, there are so many different types of jeans. You've got like boyfriend jeans, you've got flare jeans, you've got mom jeans, you've got everything, low rise, high rise, mid rise, so many different fits. And what I think is most important to remember is if you're going for an elegant and classy style, then you cannot go wrong with either mid-rise or high-rise jeans that are slim but not skinny or baggy. You want something that is going to give you, it's going to show off your figure a little bit, but not to the point where it can be considered trashy or where it's super tight fitting. But also, on the other hand, again, something that's really baggy, it just looks like you have no shape to you. And I think part of what makes an elegant wardrobe is clothing that fits you properly. And I think that a mid blue, you can't go wrong with a mid blue. If you want to go for dark or light, that's fine. But I think if you had to buy one pair of jeans, let it be high-waisted or high-rise or mid-rise jeans that are a mid blue and they're either straight or slim. I think straight leg tends to be used for more like men's jeans. I can't really remember, but just kind of think about it fitting your leg comfortably, but not to where it's super tight or too baggy, because baggy jeans and really skinny jeans are considered trendy. Skinny jeans, you know, most people don't wear them anymore. I think they can work for some looks, but I personally think just a slim or straight leg jean, you really can't go wrong with that. And you can style jeans in many ways. Again, it's the kind of piece you dress up or down, and you can wear them to many different occasions. So I know not everyone's a jean person, but for me personally, I truly love them. And I don't, even right now I have one pair that I like, but I definitely want to kind of grow that collection just a little bit. And the last example I want to share today is in relation to shoes, specifically boots. So I know it's summertime right now, but let's just think about winter for a minute. So I personally love the look of a sleek black boot with a little bit of a heel, nothing like a stiletto, but a little chunky boot that is maybe it goes up to your knee or even like to your the mid calf. I think that would look amazing as well. So something like that where again it's not trendy, because the ankle boots can sometimes be considered trendy and thigh high boots can be trendy and not the most elegant, to be honest. I think you can't go wrong with boots that go up to your knees that are sleek and slim, and just a classic like leather black boot. You can't go wrong with that. However, on the other hand, a trendy boot that is, I guess, kind of the trendy equivalent to that would be something like a really chunky boot. So again, I know some people love these and I love that for you. I think that's really great. But if you're going for elegance, you want something kind of sleek and simple. But a lot of people, especially right now, love a chunky boot, like really high platform boots. And again, I think that's really fun. I think it can work for certain people and for certain different styles, but it doesn't work as well if you want a timeless and classic wardrobe. So those are some things that I want you to keep in mind, and those are some examples of trendy versus timeless pieces, because I think sometimes you need to have examples to be able to show you what you should be going for if you're trying to achieve an elegant look. So that is all the advice. Those are the tips and tricks that I wanted to share with you today in relation to trends versus timelessness. Again, I'm just that kind of person who has always loved a timeless and classic look. And I just want you to keep in mind a few things: that you don't have to spend a fortune to look nice, to look presentable, polished, put together. There are definitely tricks in there that I shared today that I hope you'll use in finding some high quality pieces. And another takeaway, I guess, would just be that if you want to buy something luxury, you want to be 1000% sure that it's the right thing for you. And at the end of the day, fashion is fun. It's something that should be enjoyable. If you're into fashion, then you should have fun with it. And that means different things for everyone. Everyone's personal style is different. It's good to have inspiration, but not to copy anyone. And I hope that you found what I shared today helpful and inspiring. I love this series and I plan to continue it. It took a minute to plan out what I wanted to say in this video because I actually did film this a few weeks ago and I did not like how it turned out because I didn't sit down to plan it. I just kind of was spewing different things out of my mouth and I was like, that made no sense, and it was so repetitive. So I hope I did better with it today, and I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you in my next one.